Alright, so there I was. Post gym sweat dripping and muscles screaming for mercy. Decided to treat myself to some sauna time, like the fitness gods intended. After a quick shower that probably lasted longer than it should, I strolled into the steamy embrace of the sauna, thinking it was smooth sailing from there. I shut the door behind me because, that's how saunas work, right? Ain't no rocket science. It's just basic sauna etiquette. Little did I know, this move was about to kick off the saga of sauna war. Just as I'm settling into the therapeutic heat, this woman, a real live steam serpent, opens the door and bolts out like she's got a sauna emergency or something. Probably had to share her latest workout achievements on the phone with her BFF. I don't know. Now, I ain't one to make enemies, but I'm not about to let the sauna's warmth escape into the gym wilderness. So I did the righteous thing. Shut the door behind her. Lo and behold, she returns, mid-chat on the phone, and sees me enjoying the sauna with the door closed. She gives me that look, the one that could melt ice caps, and starts going off about how I can't just close the door. I tell her, look, lady, it's sauna 101. Doctor stays shut. Keeps the sweat magic in or something, I don't know. Just feels right. She's having none of it, insisting I should get out. I'm like, hold up, Cinderella, this ain't your sauna kingdom. I'll sweat in peace if I damn well please. Well, that didn't sit right with Her Highness. She stormed off, probably plotting my sauna banishment. I shrugged it off, closed the door, and thought, that's the end of that drama. Oh boy, was I in for a sweatier ride than I bargained for. She gives me this look, a mix of annoyance and disbelief, like I'm trespassing on her sacred sauna grounds. You need to get out, she demands, all high and mighty. Now, I ain't one to shy away from a standoff, especially when it comes to a battle of wills in a sauna. I coolly tell her, why don't you join? It's roomy enough for 2, maybe even 3 if you're feeling friendly. Oh boy, that set her off like a firework on the 4th of July. She screeches, no way! I need my privacy. This is my alone time. I figure, fair enough. We all need our alone time, especially in the midst of a steamy affair with the sauna. But my stubborn side kicks in, and I decide I'm not budging. Look, lady, I've got at least 20 more minutes of sauna serenity on my clock. Find another spot to brood. She shoots daggers at me like I just insulted her entire sauna lineage. I'm not comfortable with others, she spits out, as if sharing the sauna with me is the end of the world. I chuckle. Well, princess, you're just gonna have to deal with it. This sauna ain't big enough for your, sharing policy. She huffs, stomps her foot, seriously, who does that? And storms out, muttering something about inconsiderate sauna barbarians. I lean back, close my eyes, and think, sauna time waits for no one. The temperature rises, and so does the drama. After Sauna Queen stormed out, I figured I'd won the battle, claimed my throne of steamy victory. But, oh no, the drama wasn't done cooking in this sauna saga. I'm there, eyes closed, soaking up the heat like it's liquid gold, when I suddenly hear a distant cackling. I open one eye, thinking it's some gym jester pulling pranks. Lo and behold, it's none other than Sauna Queen herself, messing with the thermostat like it's her personal game of heat chess. I sit up, squinting through the sauna haze, and ask, what the hell are you doing? She smirks, devilish delight in her eyes. You want your precious 20 minutes. Let's see how you handle the heat, tough guy. Next thing I know, the temperature starts skyrocketing. I'm talking sauna turning into the fiery pits of Hades kind of hot. Sweat starts pouring like Niagara Falls, and I'm questioning if I accidentally stepped into a sauna-themed horror movie. I'm not one to back down, but this was a whole new level of sauna warfare. I shout over the sauna inferno, are you trying to melt me, lady? She just laughs, a sinister melody of victory. You wanted your 20 minutes. Enjoy the sauna hell? At this point, I'm practically gasping for air, feeling like I'm being slow, roasted by an angry sauna deity. Sauna Queen exits with a triumphant grin, leaving me questioning my life choices. I tough it out, partly stubbornness, partly not willing to let Sauna Queen have the satisfaction of breaking me. Finally, the heat eases, and I stumble out of the sauna, feeling like I just survived an epic battle. I wipe the sweat from my face, thinking, well played, Sauna Queen, well played. Sauna Queen may have thought she won the first round, turning the heat up like she's auditioning for a villain role in a sauna-themed superhero movie. But vengeance, my friends, is a dish best served hot. And trust me, I'm about to turn up the heat in more ways than one. I stumble out of the inferno, feeling like I just walked through the Sahara in a snowsuit. My pride might be a little crispy around the edges, but my determination is still steaming. As I cool off, I plot my sweet, steamy revenge. It's time to show Sauna Queen that she's playing with the sauna master. I sneak out of the sauna area, a man with a mission. Operation Sauna Smackdown is a go. First stop, gym reception. I talk the receptionist into letting me borrow a roll of out-of-order tape. With that, I strut back to the sauna, a devious grin on my face. I wrap that sauna door with so much tape. You'd think it's in a crime scene. I even add a touch of dramatic flair by scribbling "sauna temporarily closed" at technical difficulties. Now, I settle into the shadows, waiting for Sauna Queen to return and face the consequences of her sauna sabotage. Sure enough, she storms in, expecting to reclaim her steamy throne. Her eyes lock onto the taped-up door, confusion and frustration written all over her face. She turns to me, and I flash a devilish smile. "Looks like the sauna gods have spoken, huh?" She splutters. "What the hell did you do?" I shrug, playing innocent. Must be some technical difficulties. I guess we'll have to find another spot to roast ourselves. I leave her standing there, staring at the closed sauna door like it's an unsolvable riddle. As I walk away, I can't help but revel in my sweet revenge. Round 2 goes to the sauna sensei. The war ain't over, but Sauna Queen better think twice before messing with the Heat Master. The day began like any other, filled with the mundane task of helping my in-laws clear out their old belongings as they prepared to move. Little did I know that a seemingly forgotten Mastercraft tool from Canadian Tire would turn a routine day into a memorable adventure. Rummaging through the boxes and dusty corners of their garage, I stumbled upon an impact wrench. It appeared brand new, still in its packaging, with a receipt attached, a 2-year-old artifact from a past sale. My father-in-law explained that he never used it due to persistent issues, and the prospect of returning it had slipped his mind. Empathy nudged me to investigate the matter further. Canadian Tire was known for their substantial discounts on Mastercraft tools, and perhaps the long warranties would offer a solution to the problems my father-in-law had encountered. I decided to give it a shot. Heading to the nearest Canadian Tire, I approached the customer service representative with the impact wrench in hand and the aged receipt, which proudly displayed a $60 price tag, a stark reduction from its original $200. The CSER, however, seemed unimpressed. "You can't return this item with this receipt," she declared, examining the document with a dismissive glance. "Too much time has passed and the receipt is useless." My attempts at explaining the issues fell on deaf ears. Undeterred, I swiftly turned to Google, determined to find evidence that would substantiate my claim. Lo and behold, there it was, an online record revealing that the very tool in my hands was subject to a recall due to the exact issues I had described. I eagerly showed it to the CSR who, albeit begrudgingly, acknowledged the validity of my plea. Her expression shifted, grudgingly accepting the reality of the situation. "Fine," she muttered, "you can return it as a recall." However, my victory was not yet complete. As she reached for the receipt to initiate the refund process, a mischievous idea sparked in my mind. The passage of time had rendered the receipt seemingly obsolete. "No," I calmly declared. "Too much time has passed and the receipt is useless." A sharp glare shot my way, but I stood my ground. The CSR, perhaps begrudgingly impressed by my tenacity, processed a cash refund that exceeded all expectations. The $60 on the receipt transformed into a generous $225 plus, including taxes. As I walked away from Canadian Tire with the unexpected windfall, the impact wrench tucked under my arm, I couldn't help but revel in the triumph of turning an ordinary errand into a victorious escapade. The irony of the situation lingered. A tool with its own set of issues had become the instrument of my unexpected success. Word of my peculiar triumph spread within the family, eliciting laughter and admiration. The seemingly trivial act of standing up for what I believed in had turned a routine day into a tale of resilience and unexpected reward. And so, with a newfound appreciation for the power of persistence, I continued helping my in-laws move. eager to see what other surprises awaited amidst the remnants of the past. Once upon a time in the bustling city, nestled among the bright lights and lively streets, there stood a theater. It was a place filled with the magic of storytelling and the art of cinema. Behind the scenes, however, drama unfolded in the form of the owner's daughter, a figure infamous for her snippy demeanor towards the staff. The theater had a simple uniform, a blue polo with the logo embroidered on the left shoulder, paired with either black or khaki pants. The rules were clear, but the owner's daughter seemed to have a penchant for bending them to her liking, especially when it came to new employees, particularly girls. A fresh face had joined the staff, a girl dubbed as the new girl. It didn't take long for the owner's daughter to single her out for her disdain. The theater's uniform policy extended to the option of wearing skirts, provided they were black or khaki. However, when new girl opted for a skirt instead of pants, the owner's daughter unleashed her fury. The hypocrisy was glaring. The owner's daughter herself regularly paraded around in skirts, seemingly enjoying the privilege exclusively. The rest of the staff couldn't help but roll their eyes at the blatant double standard. Undeterred, new girl ignored the unwarranted criticism and continued to wear a skirt for her subsequent shifts. The tension reached its peak when the owner's daughter's complaints became incessant. Fed up with the ongoing dispute, a manager, known for his strict adherence to rules, decided to settle the matter once and for all. Armed with the employee handbook, he meticulously searched for the dress code guidelines. To everyone's satisfaction, the rules were crystal clear. Any girl on staff was permitted to wear a skirt instead of pants, as long as they were black or khaki colored. The manager, armed with this knowledge, confronted the owner's daughter with an unwavering resolve. For a moment, silence gripped the theater as the owner's daughter grappled with the reality that her attempts to control the staff had been thwarted by the very rules she tried to manipulate. The realization hit her hard, but instead of admitting defeat, she continued to sulk and complain. This turn of events sparked a rebellion among the female staff. In a display of unity and defiance, all the girls, including those who typically avoided skirts, decided to wear them to their shifts. It became a month-long campaign of sartorial rebellion, purely aimed at spitefully countering the owner's daughter's unjust demands. The theater transformed into a sea of skirts, a symbol of resistance against the tyranny of the owner's daughter. As the girls proudly embraced their right to choose their attire, the atmosphere at the theater shifted. Even the guys on staff, witnessing the spectacle, contemplated joining in to make a statement against the oppressive behavior. The owner's daughter, now isolated in her discontent, couldn't escape the sea of skirts that surrounded her. The once dictatorial figure found herself powerless against the collective strength of the staff. The theater, once a battleground of uniform disputes, now stood as a beacon of unity and resilience. And so, the theater became not only a haven for cinematic wonders, but also a testament to the strength that arises when individuals stand together against injustice, even if it's as seemingly trivial as the choice of attire. The saga of the owner's daughter and the rebellion of the skirts became a legendary tale, whispered among the theater staff for years to come. I've been enjoying these posts for a couple of months now and finally decided to join up and post a few of my own experiences. And boy, do I have a few. I'm an old guy, so, well, I'll start with a, hopefully, short story. Like I said, I'm new at this, so don't flame me too much. Cast is me, Karen, OM manager. The year, 1972, I am 14 going on 15. A friend who was 16 and had a drop-top 68 Camaro. I went to a drive-in theater to watch some old B-movie sci-fi, top down of course. Middle of the second show and I wanted some snacks. My friend told me what he wanted, so I headed in the direction of the snack bar. About halfway there, I walked by a car with a man and woman in it. As I start by the woman, Karen, in a nasally voice says, "Hey kid, here." I knew immediately she was talking to me. She leaned out the window and said, "Get me 2 large popcorns, 2 large Cokies, and a box of Milk Dudes." Many moons ago, so I can't really remember what all it was that she wanted. I looked at her, taking note of her disheveled beehive hairdo, and just kept walking. I kept my head down and tried to ignore her as she instantly went full on Karen mode and started screaming at me. I heard the man say, "Karen, don't," but her screaming drowned out whatever he was trying to say. Then I heard a car door slam, and the next instant I felt claws in my arm near the elbow as she grabbed me and pulled me around, screaming how she knew my boss. I jerked my arm away from her and told her to get her own stuff. Then I turned and started walking again, only a little faster. That's when I felt something hit me in the back, nearly knocking me down. She had picked up an empty beer bottle and threw it at me. She started towards me again and telling me how she wanted to talk to my boss and would get me fired. She had a real motor mouth going and followed me on into the snack bar, still screeching at me. As we entered, she pushed past me and demanded to one of the people behind the counter to speak to my boss while pointing her finger at me. The lady behind the counter that she made her demand of just so happened to be the OM. OM looked at me, then at Karen and said, "Ma'am, he doesn't work here." Karen, what? That was my cue to tell what had happened. While I was talking, a guy walked in, listened for a minute, and said that he had seen the whole thing as we went by his car, and every bit of what I said was the truth. OM stepped to a door to the back room where the Canon projector was, spoke in a low tone, and a very big guy stepped out. OM then told the Karen that she had better get back to her car and leave. Karen started to protest but shut herself down when the big guy stepped out from behind the counter and towered over her. He followed her to her car and they drove off. By the way, OM had never seen Karen before or since. A month later, I got a job working at that very same drive in I am new here, and English is not my main language. I'm in a car driving on Balkan Road, so I'll probably have misspellings. I will put my text in ChatGPT. He will probably fix mistakes. I'm in an IT's course in one Balkan country, and we got an offer to go to one summer sports camp. Many of us agreed, and it was great fun. We were in small rooms of 10-14 people. I think there was a room with 16, but I can't confirm. When I say small, I mean just enough room for 68 double beds, space to get to the beds, and a bathroom. The camp was great, but if you wanted to find something you didn't like, it wouldn't be hard. However, we had such a great time that we ignored most of the things. There was one rule we had a problem with: lights off at 11. Now, the rule is okay for kids, but we were between 16 and 20 years old in my room. Also, most activities that the camp organized itself finished after 11, which caused a problem because 12 boys needed to prepare for bed in the dark. The only light source we could use was in the bathroom, which would light up maybe 1/4 of the room. And after 1, 2, it was pure darkness again. We complained, but they said to use flashlights from our phones. It was impractical, but somehow working. Until one of my friends and I were talking about that issue during the day, and I jokingly said, "Why don't we use tape that my friend brought?" We all brought a lot of random stuff like that. He actually thought it was a great idea. We talked to all roommates, and 2 of them even had flashlights. We asked the camp organizer if we could tape our phones and flashlights on the walls and windows so we could see better, and he said, whatever. That night, we taped 12 phones with flashlights and 2 batteries on the windows and turned them all on to look outside. It wasn't as bright as we expected, but enough for anyone passing by that sector to notice. 2 of our teachers passed by. One was trying to understand what was going on, and the second one, I found out later, knew what we planned and couldn't believe we actually did it. Then our director came by and he just asked, "What the heck did you do?" When we explained, he told us that he wasn't actually surprised. Then, cam workers started showing up, the same one who told us the first time to just use phones. In his defense, he was following rules from above and told us we hadn't broken any rules, but the organizer would not be happy. The next day, all phones were dead, and 1 battery was surprisingly still holding. Some sort of higher up talked to us, and he thought it was funny. The rule has changed, and now lights off is at midnight for older groups.